the perception of physical attractiveness is a complex phenomenon influenced by a combination of biological, psychological, cultural, and social factors. Here are some scientific aspects to consider. Biological factors. 1. Genetics. Physical characteristics like facial structure, skin color, and body shape are determined by genetics. Different populations have distinct genetic variations that influence their physical appearance. 2. Hormones. Hormonal fluctuations during puberty and adulthood can affect physical characteristics like facial hair, body mass, and skin texture. 3. Evolutionary pressures. In different environments, natural selection may favor certain physical traits that enhance survival and reproduction. Psychological factors. 1. Cultural conditioning. We are often socialized to associate certain physical characteristics with attractiveness based on cultural norms and media representation. 2. Brain processing. Research suggests that the brain processes facial attractiveness based on factors like symmetry, averageness, and sexual dimorphism. 3. Individual preferences. Personal experiences, upbringing, and individual values can shape our perceptions of attractiveness. Cultural and social factors. 1. Cultural beauty standards. Different cultures have unique beauty standards, which can influence our perceptions of attractiveness. 2. Media representation. The media can perpetuate certain beauty standards, making them more desirable and widespread. 3. Socioeconomic factors. Social status, education, and economic background can affect our perceptions of attractiveness and access to resources that enhance physical appearance. Scientific theories. 1. Evolutionary theory. Attractiveness may be linked to cues of health, fertility, and high social status, which are desirable traits for reproduction and partnership. 2. Social learning theory. We learn to associate certain physical characteristics with attractiveness through social interactions and cultural norms. In conclusion, the perception of physical attractiveness is a complex, multifaceted phenomenon influenced by biological, psychological, cultural, and social factors. It's essential to recognize and appreciate the diversity of human physical appearance and avoid making generalized statements that perpetuate harmful stereotypes. Here's what we can do.
Look at this guy. He's very attractive, right? But look at him now. Not anymore. Right? Well, what changed? What changed was that his neck got skinnier in the second picture. Your neck is the most neglected muscle that people forget to train but has a huge effect on your appearance. It will determine how your face is structured, how masculine you look, and specifically, the positioning of your jaw. In this video, I'll cover how you can develop the muscles around your jaw so that you can maximize the masculine appearance of your face. If you look at almost any attractive guy, chances are they have a very well-developed neck. Just look at Brad Pitt, for example. He has a thick and developed neck. Jeremy Meeks also has a very thick neck. Chris Hemsworth is also a great example. And even Jordan Barrett, who is very skinny, still took time to develop his neck because he knows how important it is. Now that we understand the importance of having a thick neck, how do we actually develop our neck? Well, first, let's look at our neck muscles. It's comprised of two main parts. We have the sternocleidomastoic muscles running down the front of the neck. We also have the splenius cervicus, which is the muscles on the back of our neck. Now, when working out your neck, keep in mind that if you've never trained it before, it will be a sensitive muscle. So go light at first. The neck is also a really nice muscle to train, because if you've never trained it before, you can see results extremely quick, even within the first month. So here's a full workout you can do 3 times per week to develop your neck. We begin the workout by first stretching our neck. For this, you can do neck rolls by rolling your head in a circle and just moving your neck around to get it warmed up. Remember, stretching is important because your neck might be sensitive at first. Next, we want to find something like a bed or a bench, which we can lay down on and hang our head off the end. Once our head is hanging off the end, you can start the first movement, which are neck curls. Like this. This will target the front part of your neck. The first thing we'll cover in this course is your eye area. First of all, you need to understand that your eye area is probably the most important feature on your face. You could have a perfect face, but if your eye area is bad, you'll still be ugly. For example, look at Chico. Very attractive, right? But now look at him with a bad eye area. Now he looks just like a normal guy. Or what about this guy? Look at the difference his eye area makes. And there's countless examples like this which show how important the eye area is. Now, let's analyze what makes a good eye area. With our eye area, we want to achieve what's known as hunter eyes. We want our eye area to look like this and not this. Now we need to achieve this. Hunter eyes look? To do this, we need a good eye angle and thick and dark eyebrows that are shaped correctly. So first let's talk about eye angle. We need an eye angle which slants upwards, in other words, having a positive canthal tilt. Now, if your eyes look like this and you have a bad eye angle, you can change this over time by simply fixing your posture and mewing. Here's how it works. When you mew, you will naturally push forward your maxilla bone. This is your maxilla bone, and it is directly connected to what's known as your zygomatic bone. The angle of your eye is determined by your zygomatic bone. Now most people mouth breath and have bad posture, which results in a droopy bone structure, like this. This causes their zygomatic bone to slant downwards, which gives them a bad eye angle. Now when we mew, we will push forward our maxilla. When our maxilla is pushed forwards, our zygomatic bone will be given an upward angle, resulting in a positive canthal tilt. Now how do we mew? Mewing is the act of suctioning your tongue to the roof of your mouth, which will bring your maxilla forward. To mew effectively, we need to achieve what's known as a suction hold. This is where your tongue naturally sits at the top of your mouth without you having to force it up there. To do this, hold a bit of water in your mouth and repeatedly swallow using only your tongue until you feel your whole tongue, including the back, suctioned against the roof of your mouth. You might not get it right at first, but just like training a muscle, your tongue will get more and more used to the movement over time, and it will feel more and more natural for you. Now that we've talked about the eye angle, the next step to work on is our eyebrows. We need thick and dark eyebrows, which are also angled correctly. Let's look at this guy's transformation, for example. The main change he made was actually his eyebrows. Look at them before. They're thin and light, with no angle or shape to them. Now look at them after. They're thick and dark, which highlights all the other features of his face. And they're also angled down, which gives his eyes the hunter eye effect. So how do we get our eyebrows like this? Well, first off, we need to thicken and darken our eyebrows. To do this, we will use something called minoxidil. This is a hair growth serum which could get you results like this within just a couple of weeks. We will need a minoxidil plus derma roller kit like this. Here's how it works. You apply the eyebrow growth serum over your eyebrow area. Then you roll over it with the derma roller. This roller